Welcome back to another episode of the Better Together podcast for real estate agents. I'm your host, Kiki King, and today I have a special co-host with me, Mark Kumamoto, who is one of our sales coaches here at Locations. So building your business on a strong foundation of practical and technical knowledge is key. So we're here today with some of my favorite people to talk about the importance of a solid training program, specifically our Greenie training program, which is designed to help agents get their business off the ground so that they can hit the ground running. So before we go any further, let me introduce to you some of the people that we have here today. Okay, so first to my right, I have Mark Kumamoto here. And as I mentioned earlier, you're one of our sales coaches here at Locations. You've also been licensed since 2004.
2004, yeah. Seems like it was just yesterday.
Right. And you are also, Mark here is also head of our Greenie training program here at Locations.
Blessed to be you.
Yes, yay. And then here to my left, I have two amazing people with me here today. I have Chaden Morisato. Chaden, you graduated from Kalani High School. Yep. Right? And you also have a bachelor's degree of marketing and business administration.
Correct.
And your hobbies include martial arts, jujitsu, taking long walks on the beach. No, just kidding. And wrestling, right?
Yes.
Okay. And we have Erika Peralta here, the beautiful Erika Peralta. Graduated from Moanalua High School. Whoop, whoop. And you also graduated with a bachelor's degree in anthropology and went on to intern for POW, prisoner of war programs that specialize in forensic anthropology. That's a mouthful. Your hobbies include growing plants and hosting some of the most epic dinner parties I've ever heard of, right?
Yes. They're themed.
Yay! Okay, so Mark, as we mentioned earlier, you are the head of our Greenie training program for our agents. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about what that program's all about?
Sure. So I think in a nutshell, the new agent training program is basically sales training, right, for real estate professionals. It's a 3-week program, a pretty intense program, as you know, you guys have been through and found out. But also in the past 2 classes, we've also had experienced agents come join us just as a refresher to refine their sales skills, and they've benefited from the training as well. In the last 2 sessions, we've actually had some experienced agents join us, and what they got out of it was a refresher in their sales training. Also, it was an opportunity for them to collaborate with our newer agents, you know, and together they started on this journey of building their real estate foundation.
Yeah, I mean, from what I hear, the Greenie training program it's pretty intense,
Yes.
Right? You know, but even for those experienced agents that have joined or made the decision
Right.
to retake
Right.
the Greenie training over again, it seemed to be like it was a kickstart to their business,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah. I think when you're around, you know, like-minded, growth-minded people,
Yes.
it feeds off, you know, of each other, and it's a wonder to see all of them come together and collaborate.
That's awesome. And I love how the Greenie training is not just taught by one individual.
Yes.
You actually pull together so many different talents from
Sure.
within the Locations Ohana
Yep.
to teach, right?
Yeah. We've all heard of the saying, it takes a village to raise a child, right? So, you know, one of our foundation pillars is better together. So that's, you know, we like to start it right from the beginning and get a lot of these experienced agents in front of these, you know, new to brand new agents, sharing their stories and sharing their experiences.
I love that. I really do. And Chaden and Erika, you guys are here today because both of you went through the kind of most recent Greenie training programs,
Yep.
right? And so starting with Chaden, and then we'll hear from Erika, I would like to know why you decided to apply for the Locations Greenie program.
Well, real estate has always been kind of a big interest for me. Prior to this, I was at the bank, so I was always thinking about it, but never really had the push to kind of enter. Wasn't until the accountant, Arnold Koo, got me in, and he kind of was trying to get my dad in for a few years, and then he found out I wanted to join, so he told me Locations is a great place to kind of get your feet wet. So, and I had asked around other places as well, for what's the best real estate brokerage, and all of them said location. So I said, okay, I think this is the one for me. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great to hear. What about you, Erika?
I actually came from a different brokerage. I was introduced by a partner at Locations. I was lucky enough to work my first transaction with her. And after, when we celebrated our close, she asked me if I wanted to do real estate for the rest of my life. And I told her yes, immediately. She actually recommended going through a proper training. And with that, she introduced me to the Greenie training program, which I happily accepted. So
That's so awesome. So, for the both of you guys, what exactly, if you could sum it up in a little nutshell, what exactly was your feelings, your experience being in the this 3-week Greenie program?
Well, I would say the number one thing after taking the Greenie program was even from the partners, they said they're always learning. There's nothing that they've already gone through. Everything is a learning experience, and I took that to heart. Even guys that have been in the business for like 30 years are still learning. So
true.
Yeah, it's good to know.
That's really nice when an experienced agent, someone who's been in the business for 20, 30 plus years, can admit that they're still learning. It makes you feel very safe to continue to ask questions and seek help, right?
Definitely, yeah.
What about you, Erika? What was your experience? How was your feelings about this class? And don't worry, he's not judging you.
My experience, I would say that, of course, when you first step into something new, you're a little bit anxious, but it was really easy to feel at home with everybody that I've met so far. And everyone has their own unique personalities in Locations, so you never really have to feel like you have to be a certain person to talk to anybody there. But all the connection it's pretty much there. I do like that everyone has their own backgrounds that they came from before coming to real estate. And it's just nice to know that everyone there is looking for a little bit more experience. And that's
Just that growth-minded
yes.
attitude, right?
Yes.
Is infectious, just like what Mark shared.
And just knowing that there are multiple opportunities out there for a person to grow.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I do have a question for you guys, and maybe Mark, you have a question you've been dying to ask them. But one question I have for you, because I teach the social media class in the Greenie course, is what was your favorite class? Hint, hint.
That's a tough question, yeah.
Yeah, do you have a favorite class, a favorite instructor? What was something that you really, really enjoyed that you took out of it?
I would say definitely social media class is up there. Yeah. But also they have, part of the Greenie program is prospecting. So one thing that I took to heart was the open house training. So it wasn't just one person though. It was good as we had like I think 2 to 3 people teaching us how they do open houses, which was really neat. So it's good to know that there's not just one way to, how the bread is made. It's just there's multiple ways to do it, which is good.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. What about you, Erika?
There was this course in the beginning of the training program. It was called Business Plan, There Is No Plan B. What I enjoyed about it is that it taught us that our confidence is what makes our business. Whatever plan that you decide to do, whatever plan you decide to make, whether it's in the week or a month or a year, your confidence is the way, and you should trust that yourself.
Oh, absolutely. Confidence, especially when you're first getting grounded in your business. Mm-hmm. Confidence is key in those first few years. So that really is a great class. Okay, so Mark,
Yes.
now it's your turn in the spotlight.
Okay.
I know you've been dying to ask these guys at least one question. So now's your chance.
Okay. So Erika and Chaden, building on top of the key takeaway, which both of you guys have answered, what was the one activity that you've noticed that you've executed on that has really jump-started your real estate career?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I could say regarding the Greenie training is without fail, I think everybody who came in to talk to us has told us to come into the office. You know, although this is a business that you can do at home, you know, it's you got to treat it like your full-time job. Right. So, and that's kind of what I took to heart. So, I would come to the office every day, you know, regular hours, 8 to 5, maybe even longer. Yeah. And this one agent in particular noticed, you know, me coming every day, because she would come in every day as well. And I was fortunate enough for her to, you know, throw me a bone, and I actually got my first transaction just by coming to the office.
Wonderful.
That is awesome.
Wonderful. So it works.
It does work, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. And for you, Erika, what's one activity that has impacted your business?
I would have to agree with Chaden. I think coming into the office does have its benefits. Being around other people who are working towards the same goal as you definitely inspires you to do a lot better than what you expected throughout the day. And just hearing stories about people's transactions or past transactions and how they, you know, at one point, of course, had doubted themselves, and seeing them every day put in the work that they are doing definitely brings a smile to my face every time I come in. So,
Awesome.
Oh, that is awesome. I mean, especially with the pandemic, right? In 2020, 2021, the world kind of shifted. We saw the world shift into virtual, you know, Zoom, and kind of working from home, you know, working out of the office.
Right.
And so it is actually pretty refreshing to hear that coming into the office and being around your peers, being able to talk story, being able to converse about your everyday real estate experiences actually really has helped to boost your business.
Definitely.
Yeah. So on that note, I know, Mark, you had talked about shared learning.
Yes.
Right? Shared learning is one of our pillars of our culture here at Locations.
Absolutely.
So I do have a question for all of you guys regarding shared learning. Do you have any examples of this experience manifesting in your time here at Locations?
Oh, definitely. One of my favorite examples is my first transaction. So piggybacking off of that transaction where I would come to the office every day, the agent, Kumiko Burns, she would, I would see her all the time in the lunchroom as well. So actually, you know, funny enough, I think the lunchroom is the best place for shared learning, because you get to talk with all these different agents, you know, from experience to inexperience about all their difficulties, and you kind of get to pick their brains, which is pretty cool. And from that interaction, I would just build up a good rapport and build up a relationship with all these different agents. And I don't know, I guess she liked me, so she just kind of gave me the listing that with her, and from there we just worked it.
Wow. That's incredible. That must have been a great learning experience, right?
Definitely.
To work, was that your first listing?
It was my first listing.
Wow, to work your first listing with such an experienced agent.
I know, I'm really fortunate.
That's an incredible experience.
Good
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. What about you, Erika?
In regards to shared learning, I really appreciate that there is just no limit to the amount of learning that you can get from a lot of the agents that are around. And whether it's with our managing brokers, our principal broker, or even just top producing agents, it's every conversation, every single thing that they have shared with us in terms of their experiences and their knowledge and their faith in the industry. I'm able to basically just wonder a little bit more about more opportunities.
Yeah.
based on that.
And it's amazing that from, you know, the newest agent in the business to the most experienced, the highest producing agent in our company, that there is no barrier. You can talk to anybody, right? You never feel like you can't approach them
Correct.
and ask questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I add
Yeah.
one more thing to it?
Yeah,
So,
of course.
Well, going off of that, I really appreciate how all the other agents in the office keep their doors open. So we have this, I didn't realize till later that there's an open door policy with even the partners at Locations. So, you know, I can tell you that there's been many different times where I'd just ask different partners, just some advice, and they're always willing to and happy to give it to me. So.
Yeah, that's great. What about you, Mark?
So shared learning, for me, as you know, I was once sitting in a seat just like you folks, right? So I've got to experience it from an agent's perspective. Now as a sales manager, we have built the program to pretty much the pillar of shared learning, which is why we bring all these different people in front of you guys. So that's the collaborative piece of shared learning.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, after the training, it continues on with power groups and, workshops and like Chaden said, just the lunchroom. I mean, that's one of my favorite places in the office. So
For the shared learning or for the food?
for both. So, yeah, I mean, that's really what our company's all about.
Absolutely. So, with your position, your position is a pretty unique one. You get to coach agents.
Right.
You also get to take the helm of this program that grooms agents from the ground up. What do you enjoy the most about what you do here?
Funny you should ask, because I was asked this yesterday by someone in the program. I think it just goes back to our values. Most importantly, our mission, right, is arming our agents with customized training. I'm just blessed to have that opportunity, right, to just be a small step in their growth and development. Also, our value of serving with excellence, right? I mean, we're all in a position of service, so blessed to do that daily. But most importantly is better together, right? There was a partner that said, you help that person who needs help, not just to serve and help them, right, out of the kindness of your heart, but you do that to pay back the person that has helped you. So that's one thing that really, really stuck with me, growing up in the company, and that's really, really what I enjoy the most as part of my job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really great to hear. That pay it forward mentality it really is a thing here at Locations. And I think it's one of the best characteristics, it's one of the best aspects that has, I think, helped all of us to be where we are today. So, yeah. So I have one last question. Before we close today, I have one last question for you guys, and I'm gonna take you back to before you got into real estate.
Yep.
So from where you are today, what is one piece of advice that you would give your pre-real estate self? Who do we want to start with? Why don't we start with, let's start with ladies first. Let's start with Erika, and then we'll go to Chaden, and we'll finish with Mark.
Okay.
One thing that, actually I would tell two things to myself, but the one thing that would probably resonate with me is you just have to know who you really are. And once you immediately grasp at that, then the confidence and the confidence in yourself is what makes everything else around you work out. All the decisions that you make, all of the thoughts that you have towards yourself, the only person that can ever stop you is really just your mind and yourself. So just knowing and, encouraging yourself is one of the top things that I would probably tell my younger self.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, what you think and what you believe really does come out in everything that you do.
Yes.
When you're unsure, when you're not confident, a lot of that comes from not knowing if you're doing the right thing, not feeling confident, not feeling sure, but I think with everything we've shared today, with the people that you surrounded yourself with the shared learning that we have here at Locations, with the training that you've received, that, to me, I really think that that's built the confidence in you so that you can go out there and be the best agent for your clients. Yeah. Great advice. What about you, Chaden? Let's hear.
Yeah, gosh, well, that was a really good answer from Erika, but if I had to say one thing to my previous self, it sounds small, but I'd probably tell myself to create a schedule for myself.
That's important.
I would go to the office every day, but when I get to the office, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I think it's important to kind of lay out a schedule for yourself because you are your own boss, and nobody's gonna tell you to do the work. So you gotta figure out what to do yourself, which is something I have to learn the hard way. So, but yeah, definitely maybe create a schedule, kind of figure out what you want to do that day, and lay it out.
That's very good advice. Mm-hmm. Gosh, Mark, you've taught them well.
Wow.
So what about you?
Can't take all the credit for that.
What would be the best piece of advice that you would give your pre-real estate self?
Sure. I don't think it's just one. So if I can have 3.
Okay, sure. You're the teacher.
Okay. The first obviously is to never give up. Never give up. Every day is going to have its different challenges, right? But be blessed that you have that opportunity to handle that challenge and persevere, right? So when times get tough, know that there's going to be another day and another opportunity to shine. So never give up is number one. The second one is that you always have to keep smiling, right? Keep smiling. That's something one of my mentors always closes his emails out with, SMIL apostrophe and keep smiling, right? So along with that is being true to your values, right? Knowing who you are and really, really holding that to heart when you're doing business. That's really important. And the last, but certainly not least, is you always have to be fun. Always have to have fun, right? And there's a saying that if you're passionate about what you're doing, then you'll never work a day in your life. So find your passion early and really, really just live it daily. And it'll be a very, very rewarding career. That would be my advice.
Absolutely. And from the looks of it, it looks like each and every one of you are passionate about your careers in real estate and about being here at locations, right? Well, thank you guys for being here with us today. And I hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode of the Better Together podcast for real estate agents. Continue to stay tuned for more content on how to build a thriving real estate business. See you next time.
And thank you to Kiki.